Hey guys, everything new and it's on here. I had to do this article. This is from Bloomberg.com. Marc Faber, I'd vote for Trump because Hillary will destroy the whole world. And that's a pretty funny statement, and I figured I had to read it basically. Marc Faber, author of Gloom, Doom, and the Doom Report. Gloom, Boom, and Doom Report, has thrown down the gauntlet on who he thinks should be the next president of the U.S. During an interview on Bloomberg TV, Faber said that the U.S. would not be a sound, well-run economy like Singapore's, unless, of course, the U.S. is run by Mr. Trump. Then the U.S. will improve, he thinks. I think nothing will improve at this point. It's all relative, he said. Given the alternatives, I would vote for Mr. Trump because he may only destroy the U.S. economy, but Hillary Clinton will destroy the whole world. Sorry, I missed this part. He tempered his assessment seconds later when asked if he was serious, indicating that Donald Trump might not necessarily be good for the U.S., but the other options were worse, leading into the Hillary Clinton comment. A statement befitting the title of this newsletter, to be sure. Look at her nation building in the Middle East, how successful that has been, he added with a laugh. Asked about Donald Trump's protectionist leanings, Faber adopted a stance very similar to that of a real estate mogul. Faber said that restrictions on free markets were not ideal, but that the U.S. has essentially given in on a lot of things, like things that benefit other countries. Maybe we have to find a way to have a more balanced approach to global trade, he said. I'm not saying protectionism, but a more balanced approach that is fair to the developed world. This isn't the firebrand's first foray into the political sphere. Following the 2012 presidential election, Faber said that Barack Obama's re-election was very negative for the U.S. economy, and that would probably be a correct statement there, prediction that he made. I think at this point, I'm not sure it matters who gets in. I think the economy is far enough along. The damage is done. The central banks haven't started paying off debt. They haven't done anything correct to actually limit the liability and to limit the debt. They've simply been throwing gasoline on the fire because they want the fire to keep going. They want the debt bubble to keep increasing. So I don't think anything's going to resolve this, but then most of you who watch this recognize that. The whole purpose of the central banks is to keep the status quo and maybe not even status quo, but help the rich get richer and absolutely not crash the economy. They do not want to crash the economy. They want to continue upwards forever. They want the stock market to keep going up and up and up. But that can't happen forever. A free market's got to go up and down and up and down. It's got to correct. It's got to be allowed to choose fair market value for commodities and other things, and that's not allowed right now. It's a manipulated market. There's no price discovery in the markets because they won't let it drop. They won't let the economy reset, and so that's the biggest issue that's occurring right now. And that's because they don't want the debt bubble to pop. They don't want the economy to get bad. They don't want to lose their millions unless they're ready to. Unless they're ready to say, look, we're going to pull the plug now. And we're ready, so let's crash the economy. We've taken out all the wealth that we can out of it. Now let's crash it and squeeze what little we can out of the rest of the economy, and everything gets reset back to zero. At that point, effectively, those with the most hard assets win, and that's how all the crashes work. Those who owned hard assets and didn't owe money were the winners. Now, you could also say that those who owed the most were winners as well, and that's part of the central bank thing, because the central banks and the companies owe a lot of money. So if you have a big crash, that makes their balance zero again. They start from scratch, and if they don't completely fold as companies or citizens or whatever who have the millions, then they can start fresh again with a zero balance, zero debt to pay off, and they can build a life in the new economy. But in general, those who at least have some assets are able to continue on after an absolute crash, whereas if you crash with a whole bunch of debt, you will have a zero debt to start out with, so you'll be starting fresh, but you won't have anything to start out fresh with, so you'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel for for whatever you have, and you'll be starting literally from zero to build up your funds again. Whereas if you had some sort of an asset, you'd be far ahead of everybody else. But that assumes you don't have any debt in general. So, Marc Faber, take it for what it's worth. I don't think it's, I think, my personal opinion, I think Donald Trump is a little crazy and he seems a little racist. But I don't think anything's going to help the U.S. at this point. And the U.S. is not a big player in Bible prophecy. It's not mentioned anywhere other than the young lions of Tarshish, which is a side reference. And even if that's a reference to the U.S., then when the countries come against Israel, Gog Magog, the young lions of Tarshish are just saying, "Why are you invading Israel?" But they're not actually doing anything. So prophetically, I think it's significant that they are not going to be, that they are losing power, because prophetically they are not a player in the end times. So far as, well, just reading the Bible, the U.S., United States of America, is not in Bible prophecy. It's not named there. So take it for what it's worth. Marc Faber there. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.